Buffalo Bills 3. The Bills remain the top team after scoring 30 or more points in 8 consecutive games. With an average of 35 points per game in that stretch, they've made history as the 5th team ever to do so. Their offense, led by Josh Allen, continues to be explosive, and the defense has stepped up, with the team remaining undefeated when not turning the ball over. With games remaining against the Patriots and Jets, the Bills are poised to finish the season 14-3 and secure a first-round playoff bye. Allen's MVP bid is heating up as he eyes another 12 touchdowns in the final weeks. Philadelphia Eagles 2. The Eagles have won 10 straight games, with their defense ranking as the league's best in both points and yards allowed. During this streak, they've held opponents to an average of 15.1 points per game. However, concerns around Saquon Barkley's injury could impact their run as they head toward clinching the NFC East. Still, with Jalen Hurts and the defense firing on all cylinders, the Eagles are a serious Super Bowl contender. Detroit Lions 1. The Lions are facing a tough road, losing key players like D'Allen McNeil, RB David Montgomery, and D. Aiden Hutchinson to injuries. Despite these setbacks, they've managed to stay competitive in shootouts. However, depending on their key players' health and NFC rivals' performances down the stretch, they might struggle to secure a home playoff game. Green Bay Packers 6. The Packers have been nearly flawless since Week 4, with only the Lions getting the better of them twice. They've been peaking at just the right time, and despite injuries, they're in a strong position to make a playoff push. Green Bay's ability to be effective on the road means they could be dangerous for any team in the postseason, especially if they maintain their momentum. Minnesota Vikings 5. Minnesota controls its destiny in the NFC North, with a potential showdown against the Lions in Week 18. They've been dominant during a 7-game win streak and look poised to take the division. With Kirk Cousins playing at a high level and a solid defense, the Vikings are a tough matchup for anyone, especially if they continue this hot streak into the playoffs. Kansas City Chiefs 4. Patrick Mahomes has reached 300 career touchdowns, but also dealt with another ankle injury that could impact his availability in the final weeks. Kansas City's playoff positioning relies on them winning 2 of their remaining 3 games, with tough matchups against Houston, Pittsburgh, and Denver. If Mahomes can stay healthy, the Chiefs could still be a Super Bowl contender, but they'll need to find consistent playmakers around him. Pittsburgh Steelers 7. The Steelers remain undefeated in Baltimore for the last 5 seasons, and if they extend that streak, they'll secure the AFC North title. However, their offense has struggled, especially without George Pickens. If they can get their passing game back on track, they'll have a solid shot at making a deep playoff run with their defense leading the way. Baltimore Ravens 8. Baltimore is still in the hunt for the AFC North title, and a win over Pittsburgh would secure a playoff berth. Lamar Jackson's MVP candidacy has cooled recently, but a strong finish to the season could reignite his bid for a second consecutive MVP award. They'll need to improve their passing game, and bringing back Odell Beckham Jr. could provide a boost. Los Angeles Rams 10. The Rams have been efficient, with just 1 turnover in their last 5 games, including a narrow loss. With Matthew Stafford back to form and a defense creating pressure, they've become the favorites in the NFC West. Their offense has been balanced, and if they continue their current form, they should be able to secure the division. Denver Broncos 13. The Broncos' defense has been elite, with rookie LB Nick Benito making history with back-to-back 50-yard touchdown returns. Denver's defense is now tied with the Eagles for the fewest points allowed this season. While their offense has room for improvement, their defense gives them a strong chance to secure a playoff spot, and they could be a dangerous team in the postseason. Tampa Bay Buccaneers 14. Mike Evans continues to impress, with 159 yards in his last game and he's on track to hit his 11th straight 1,000-yard season. The Buccaneers have quietly had a solid season, and while they may not be considered serious Super Bowl contenders, they're still in the hunt for the NFC South title. They'll need consistent play from QB Baker Mayfield and their defense to remain in the playoff race. Washington Commanders 9. The Commanders started the season strong, but have cooled off significantly since their 7-2 start. Rookie QB Jalen Daniels has shown promise, throwing for over 3,000 yards and rushing for 500, but the Commanders need help maintaining consistency. Still, they're a team to watch, especially with Daniels showing he can be a dynamic dual-threat quarterback. Houston Texans 15. RB Joe Mixon has struggled to gain traction recently, and the Texans' offense has had trouble keeping up. With the AFC South crown still within reach, the Texans must get Mixon going and improve their offensive play to make a deep playoff run. They'll also need to shore up their defense if they're going to make a serious playoff push. Seattle Seahawks 11. The Seahawks still control their NFC West destiny, but Geno Smith's inconsistency is a big concern. Their offense has relied heavily on the passing game, and if Smith can't find his rhythm, their playoff hopes may dwindle. With tough matchups remaining on the road, the Seahawks' playoff chances rest on their ability to play clean, mistake-free football. Arizona Cardinals 16. The Cardinals have had an up-and-down season, but Trey McBride has emerged as a reliable target. Marvin Harrison Jr. and Michael Wilson have combined for 11 TDs, but McBride has more receptions than both. The Cardinals are playing for pride, but McBride's emergence could help the offense build for the future. Los Angeles Chargers 12. After starting the season strong defensively, the Chargers have allowed 27 points or more in 3 of their last 5 games. They'll need to regroup on defense to avoid another disappointing season. QB Justin Herbert is still playing well, but the team's inconsistency has held them back. Cincinnati Bengals 17. Joe Burrow is on pace to break the Bengals' single-season touchdown record. He's been consistent all year, and with 4 more TDs, he'll reach 40 for the season. The Bengals' playoff hopes are still alive, and Burrow's continued success will be key to their postseason chances. Atlanta Falcons 21. The Falcons are still in the playoffs despite lackluster play at times. QB Kirk Cousins has struggled, but the Falcons can earn a home playoff game. They'll need to perform better offensively, especially with rookie Michael Penix Jr. still developing as the team's leader. San Francisco 49ers 18. The 49ers offense was stifled in their most recent loss, posting just 191 yards. With key players like Deebo Samuel and George Kittle, they must get back on track offensively to stay in playoff contention. If their offense doesn't find a rhythm, it could be a disappointing finish to an otherwise promising season. Dallas Cowboys 26. Rico Dowdle has become the team's workhorse, with 3 100-yard rushing games over the past 3 weeks. He's on track for over 1,300 yards from scrimmage and has significantly improved the Cowboys' offense. If they continue to utilize him in their running game, Dallas could be a dangerous team heading into the playoffs. Indianapolis Colts 19. The Colts are still alive in the playoff race, but their remaining schedule could be challenging. If they can sweep the Titans, Giants, and Jaguars, they'll finish strong and have a shot at a playoff berth. However, they'll need consistent play from QB Gardner Minshew and their defense to make that happen. Miami Dolphins 20. The Dolphins' loss to the Bills highlighted their need for more offensive balance. If they had OBJ, they might have been able to convert in crucial moments. Miami has an uphill battle ahead, needing to return to winning ways to make the playoffs. New England Patriots 22. The Patriots' passing offense has been dreadful, ranking the worst in the league. They haven't topped 260 yards in a game all season, and have failed to surpass 200 yards 10 times. They're at risk of finishing with one of the worst offenses in the league and need a drastic turnaround to avoid a disappointing season. Chicago Bears 24. The Bears continue to struggle, especially with rookie QB Caleb Williams, who's having a tough stretch. He's in the midst of the coldest stretch for a number 1 overall pick since Troy Aikman. The team is rebuilding and will look to end the season strong with some positive performances. Carolina Panthers 23. Adam Thielen continues to impress, but the Panthers remain one of the league's worst teams. Thielen is on track to make history with his 8,000-yard receiving milestone, but it's unclear whether his strong individual performances will be enough to turn the team around. 25. The Titans have struggled to find consistency and have dropped several key games. With a tough finish to the season, they'll need a miracle to stay in playoff contention. They've shown flashes of brilliance, but haven't been able to put it all together. Cleveland Browns 27. The Browns' defense continues to impress, but their offense remains inconsistent. They've been fighting for a playoff spot, but they need more production from quarterback Deshaun Watson to make a serious run. New York Giants 28. The Giants continue to need their star players. Despite having the 12th best pass defense, their offense has yet to be non-existent. They're not likely to make a playoff push this year. Jacksonville Jaguars 29. The Jaguars' playoff hopes have faded, and their recent losses have taken them out of contention. They'll need a significant rebound to finish the season on a high note. Miami Dolphins 30. After a crushing loss to the Jets, the Dolphins are hanging on by a thread. With playoff hopes dwindling, they'll need a strong finish to avoid being eliminated early. Buffalo Bills 31. The Bills are still strong contenders, but inconsistency is holding them back. They need to capitalize on their upcoming games to secure their playoff berth. New York Jets 32. The Jets remain at the bottom of the pack after an awful season. Despite their talent, their quarterback play needs to be more consistent for them to move up in the rankings.